Hey everybody, Donnie here, and welcome to my channel, You Will Be Offended. And I'm here today to show you what I did with a little community I call Broad Park over here in my test city on City Skylines Remastered. As I've said before, my test city is an area where I like to go and just kind of mess around, try new things, and at the same time build up little areas like this so I can create quick little videos for you guys like this, for instance. So here what I'm doing is I decided to use this area for more of a recreational area for these people in this area because it just, like, you have the dump right there, obviously, and then across the street you've got your power stations and stuff. So areas like this, you're not going to get too much buildup unless it's going to be like a warehouse or factory right in there. So what's going on is these areas tend to get used for recreational with like dirt bikes, people taking their BMXs out there, walking, hiking, like doing, taking their dogs out for a walk in areas like this. So you're going to tend to get a lot of trails and stuff, and that's what I wanted to kind of recreate right here. So I was just making a quick little trail. I thought I'd have a little bit of fun here and just kind of did this. But I just, it looked funny to me, but I wanted to take it and, like I said, just make this look a little more realistic, make this area look a little better, and just use it for something other than just leaving it blank. I mean, it looked good blank, but again, you want to make your vanilla game look better. You try to do things like this that just add to the realism and give a little more to the area that would be there in real life and stuff like that. So what I'm doing here is I'm adding in trees. This whole map is just mainly palm trees, just different types of palm trees. So what I've been doing is slowly adding in other trees, thinking of like, oh, somebody would have moved into the area and brought this type of tree in with them because they wanted it other than palm trees, and then that would have seeded the area and just kind of spread out. And so that's where I look at like this, like I brought in these little trees, and at the same time I brought in the low vegetation, the high vegetation, just to kind of represent like weeds that grow out in the desert and stuff like that. And so I've just kind of fit them all in there and made them take their place in this whole little video and stuff like that. Then I decided to just kind of really go to town and decorate a lot. So I had trouble fitting in some of these things, you'll see. So I just, as it changed size, because these all change sizes, I took it and I just found different spots for it. Like, okay, so this one's big, and actually, let's go ahead and go with the low vegetation or something like that. So I did change a few things up like that and just kind of went with it to just, again, I'm trying to give it a little more realistic look. I want things to have, just what it would be like if you were to walk out in the desert. So again, this is not enough yet. We have plants everywhere, that's cool, but the desert isn't just plants. In fact, there's not really a lot of plants in the desert, but this is more of a tropical desert, right? So after I add in a few more of these, then we're going to start adding in some rocks, and here we go. We're going to do this. One thing that kind of bums me out is when you're trying to add in, like I see the PC players, they're going to be able to take and add in rocks and just kind of make them touch each other and go into each other. You can kind of do that here, but not entirely. Like I could take these smaller rocks, and so what I'm doing here is I'm creating my own little rock formation, since I can't take the bigger rocks and make them fit in there. And then if I use the ground rocks, like the one that I just put down a moment ago, that's going to take away from all of the, the low vegetation, high vegetation that I put in the area. So I decided to just kind of play around with these smaller rocks. I didn't want to have them all be the same ones, so I just kind of played around, found different ones that fit, and just made my own little rock crop right there, I guess you could say. Now, some of them do take away from the vegetation, but not entirely. Like the high vegetation, you can see stayed behind and stuff. It's just that if you sit in a certain spot, it tends to take it away on the console version. I get a little bummed about it. Like I said, the PC players are able to add things and do whatever they want. Like they could put a rock right there where I can't, so whatever. So what I did here is I decided that instead of making tiny little rock outcroppings and taking my time like doing that, I chose one position for the rock and I just made random areas for it. So there was just random rocks. Then I chose another position right there like you saw. I went around and then I just kind of positioned those rocks, I touched other ones, put them in areas by themselves. I wanted it again to look like this was just a natural area. that, you know, had rocks and stuff like that. I'm going to spread all this out when I start detailing a little more on this map. This is, again, Test City is my map to come and have fun, play around, just get my mind off of things when I get home out of work and stuff like that, after work, whatever, you know, and just come and just do stuff like this and just have fun. And so yeah, I did record the video. It's not hard to do it on PlayStation 5. It's a very easy thing to do. So and I was a little bummed there. It took out those little rocks. I was hoping that they would have stayed on top and just, you know, kind of looked good right there. This didn't fit, so I chose another one, a little smaller one. It didn't quite fit aesthetically. Like, if you look really close, you can see they're two different styles of rocks. But after I set these other ones up, it's actually not too bad. It's kind of like, you know, like quartz and some other type of rock kind of combining together is what it looks like right there now. So one of the other things I decided through here is that I didn't like it just being rocks and plants right out there in the desert. I decided that other people would have came into the area, they would have bought trees from a local nursery perhaps, and so you'd see some of the same trees in the area. Some people would be like, oh yeah, the nursery has this great jacaranda. So some people would have bought it, but not everybody. So I put a few jacarandas in there, and then I kind of went through, I looked, okay, let's see, you know, we went with some bushes here, the wild hedges, but I figured it's, even as a wild hedge, it would be great for, you know, looking like somebody's bush in their yard and stuff like that, because you can see the other houses have these things, obviously. I just wanted to add to the neighborhood, add a little bit more, and I just could have picked random places, like right here, like, oh, okay, if it fits, it's gonna go, right? So there we go. Now it made that house slightly different from that house, you know? It has different bushes in the front. So I was trying to really change things up a little. I know that if you go into some neighborhoods, there's houses that look alike. Like right behind me, they have houses that are all built off of the same floor plan. They just have a different fascia, and then the house next to it has a different type of fascia, and then it changes again back to what it was after like 2 or 3 houses. So I know that's a typical thing in construction, but that's why I decided to add some trees, add some bushes, the hedges, stuff like that. And then at the same time, after I got done adding some of these in here and felt that I had done enough of that, I went through, I had some on the outsides here where these are just a couple of businesses. So like in a small community like this, you would have like a quick restaurant, laundromat, things like that. So that's what those are kind of supposed to represent out there. Then, like I said, I was choosing bushes and plants, so I chose the tall grass. Tall grass would be something that would grow in this area. It'd be like a type of weed. The seeds would spread around very easily. It would grow very easily in sandy areas like this, so that's why I went with it. Chose this and just kind of threw it around. Again, I try to make it random, but at the same time, I want it to look natural, so I'll make bunches. I'll throw singles out there. Again, just trying to make them look like it's supposed to have grown there naturally. I see a lot of people when they put stuff in, and they'll tend to want an area to have a lot of plants or vegetation in it, and they tend to stick to a pattern and stuff like that. And I have nothing really against that. Sometimes that pattern looks really good if you're trying to go for that type of look. And me, I really like the more natural look and stuff like that. So that's why I went behind the buildings there where it starts to change into sand, and I threw a few of those in right there. I thought it made it look really unique for that side of the road. I didn't want to throw any trees in right there again because of the sand, but I felt, like I said, that the plants like that would look really, really good. So here I went, I found some of the other flowering trees and stuff like that. Again, I just wanted the neighborhood to have a little bit of different styles throughout it and stuff like that. So some of the houses that are similar, let's throw some different trees on them, things like that. So I had fun making this. I thought it was really good. So here we go. We're going to back up and just kind of do a general little beautiful view of the area and just spin out and stuff like that. And so I wanted to just take this time now to thank you for joining me and ask you, if you haven't hit that like button, to please do that below if you did like this. If you didn't, go ahead and hit the dislike button. I don't mind. If you like what you see here, go ahead and subscribe for more. I do make a lot of videos like this. I do go live every single Sunday at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That is also, if you live in Europe, that would be around 9 p.m. in Central European Time, I believe. I might be a little wrong on that by like an hour or two, but I believe I'm right. So anyway, here we go. There's the beautiful area that I helped to make just a little more realistic, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time.